Hello, welcome to formerly Mornings with Michael, but it is Money, Markets, and Motivation with Mike. So here we go, off into the blue wander. Our word of the day is contronym, a word with two opposite meanings. Meaning sanction, which can mean both a penalty for disobeying a law and official permission or approval for an action. And the word sentence that has an example of it, he said, I was going too fast, and it made a joke about the contronym, saying I had been holding fast at the stop sign. So there is our word of the day. And moving on to our heat map. Here is our heat map. It is pretty hot today. Everything is bouncing back from Friday's sell-off of increase on kind of blocking China's ability. Well, anyway, that's the story there. Kind of forgot the word I was going to bring up, but NVIDIA is up 2.8. Broadcom is up almost 10%. Oracle up 5%. Crowd is up 3%. Let's see what else. Oil and energy is bouncing back. Utilities are doing well. Basic materials, industrials. Tesla's up 5.42%. The banks are up. So that is where we are there. And now I'm going to stop the share. If you think the markets could tumble and head down, this is a pretty good account to at least put a portion of your funds in. I believe I selected the wrong account here. Pull it right up. This is a personal pension. Goes up when the market goes up, does not go down when the market goes down. Keeps ascending higher and higher. Beats index investing by about 5% per day. Currently, I believe it was up about 12.58%. This is fixed index annuity. If you'd like to learn more about that, please check in with me. So with a bounce back from the tariff news, we move on to crypto, which is also bouncing back pretty strongly. Bitcoin's up almost to 116,000. Ethereum is bouncing back. They were down here around 3,600, I believe. And the rest of the charts look green. XRP is trying to bounce back, see if it gets back close to $3. And with that, we are moving on to our charts. I don't think I was sharing our crypto charts, but here they are. And take a look. Now let us move on to our charts. First, we're going to share a little bit about our current holdings. We don't have Rigetti right now, but it did jump up 25% today. Pretty amazing. And we app, we added to app today. Small amount, 10 more shares. And then we have Oklo up 16% today. Pretty amazing. Pretty good volume right over here, 2 days in a row. Rocket Lab. It's pulling back a little bit, still up 1.81%. Bought it right about here. And this configuration, I believe, was right here. Micron Technologies. Holding steady. Bought a few of StubHub today. It's up 3.81%, probably still a little below where we bought. And take a look at NVIDIA. It's pulling up. Palantir. And Palantir is up a little over 1% today. So that is where we're at right now. Let's go over, take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ bouncing 2% today. S&P 500 up 1.53%, gets back to its 20-day moving average. Here's the equal weight on the NASDAQ. Gets up to its 20-day as well, up 1.57. Equal weight on the S&P 500. Trying to get back to its 50-day. It's not quite there yet. Here's the small capitalization stocks. They're bouncing off the 20-day, up 2.78. And finally, the Dow. The Dow is up 1.28%. Let us go to our sub-indexes. Financials get a big gap up and a bounce higher. KBWB, about the same, up 1.93%. Nuclear is up almost 6% today. And let us go to ITA. Aerospace is up 1.5%. Moving over to the VIX. Let's adjust their chart here. The VIX drops quite a bit, down 7.76% today to 1903. It did have a huge move up on Friday, clearing 20. Doesn't really say how high we got here, but I believe it went above 2190. So that is the story with that one. Move to the 10-year Treasury. We're holding on, no move today, still at 40.51. And the 20-year, about the same. Believe they're closed for the holiday. Up 1% on financials. We looked at that previously. Energy up 1.36%. Communications looks like they're holding steady at the 50-day moving average. We haven't looked at Meta for a while. It's up 1.47. Google up 3% today. Utilities up 0.76. Talon is up 5.57. And VST in utilities is up 6.45% today. Real estate gets a little bit of a bounce, up 0.57. Biotech, I typed in the wrong symbol, is up 0.27%. Home builders up, they get a little bit of a bounce, up 0.6%. Other biotech is up 0.66%. Software up 2.27%. Technology gaps up 2.44%. Infrastructure gaps up 1.4%. Semiconductors bouncing off of the 10-day moving average. It looks like they got a pretty huge gap up today, up 4.43%. They moved from the 20-day to the 10-day there. Onto airlines, up 1.73%. Industrials got a lot of gap ups today, up 1.04%. Healthcare is pulling back. Consumer discretionary, you get a big bounce. See where Amazon and Tesla are up 1.71%. And let us go over to Tesla. Tesla gets a big bounce, 5.42%. Staples are down 0.33%. Home builders gapping up 1.59%. Actually, this is building materials. I apologize. And metals and mining, it is zooming up after a slight pullback on Friday. It's up 7.14% today on an ETF. That is just incredible. Finally is uranium. Uranium is up 7% today. CCJ was one of the more heavily traded stocks on the index today. It kind of clears out this area for a little bit of a consolidation, up 6.35%. And Denison Mines, little tiny object here. It is up 7% as it clears $3. I don't recall it ever being at $3. Let's go back in time and see if we can capture. This is an all-time high since their IPO, I guess. So now we're going to go over to what are the top issues that money is flowing into. American Battery Tech. I believe this is where John Najarian is on the board of directors or something, big investment anyway. For the longest time, this hadn't done nothing, was under $2 right over here. And now it's getting close to 10. Earnings are supposed to go up 86% this year. Bloom Energy, huge volume. It's up 26%. American Battery Tech is up 36% today. Critical Minerals. This is a huge one. It is just moving up 55% today. That is incredible. It is up another 5% after hours. Neocorp Developments. None of these are in a good base to make any purchases right now. They're all pretty extended. Exploration of neobloom, scandium, and titanium. Rigetti up 25% today. United States antimony, we saw this the other day when it shot above 10, and it is just reaching for the sky, up 37% today. All of these rare earths and minerals are just skyrocketing. This is up 18%, up another 3% after hours. USA rare earth, energy fuels, up 17%. EOS energy, low cost battery storage, skyrockets 23% today. Fluence energy, just trying to clear a shelf right here. Looks like it has done so. Here's the original breakout. You could add if you already have the stock here, but be tough to open a position there. Lithium Americas pulled back to the 10-day moving average and now is trying to bounce. Maybe this will set up a base, be more something that would be a little safer to invest in. MP Materials breaks out here in heavy volume, up 21%. And then we just look at all these quantum stocks, up 23%. We have a battery QuantumScape, 1503. This would have been a position to buy right here on this day. You can see volume has been pretty heavy here, and a number of big blue towers. As it takes off here, the metals company just broke into the profit zone. Right over here, it really took off. INQ is another quantum computing company bouncing off of the 10-day moving average right here. It's trying to clear this little consolidation. Not really anything with a good base that you can buy out of here. Joby Aviation, slight uptick here, but up 3%. Like to see it get a little closer. Maybe if I could clear 17 is kind of an ideal spot to buy right here. It's building a cup with a handle right here. Here's the handle. So I'd continue to watch that one. And interesting. This one I looked at in the beginning of the year, forgot about it. And it is in the semiconductor manufacturing, and it's just soaring through the pivot zone here. Here's Solaris Energy Infrastructure, continues to get a heavy volume in both the buying and the selling of this stock. Big Bear AI jumped into the pivot zone. I would say this would be a buy right about here. And let me just take a look at Cleveland Cliffs. There's innumerable stocks on where the big money is flowing today. So that one's a little bit extended. VRT looks a little bit extended as well. Nanonuclear jumps into the profit zone. And so I cannot really find a good breakout here. Commercial metals is kind of basing here. This is one that I would continue to watch. It looks like it's working on a shallow base here. Maybe a base on a base. If you could break to 60.50, it might be an area that you could purchase some. But right now, everybody is moving into the rare earths. Rio Tinto is at the top of its space. And this one had kind of a shallow box base here. And it pulled back to the 20-day moving average on Friday. And on the tariff news this morning, it has really jumped up. And here is Dollar Tree. This might be one that you could take a look at. There is one other stock that is actually an option that I moved into. Brothers, finally, it looks like they finally hit bottom right here. They cleared the declining 10-day moving average. There's a couple of big investment managers who said they were moving in and said it was undervalued. So it has cleared this line. I had a 47.5250 option, and then I had a 60.62 options. So those are the two options that are trading on Brothers, Dutch Brothers. And that is our technical analysis, or see where the big money is flowing. Now we are going to move over to our motivation part of the show, where we talk about our quote of the day. So I'm going to share our screen over there. And our quote of the day comes from Bill Bryson, American author. A moose is a cow drawn by a 3-year-old. So that's a little humor to go with our show today. Hope everybody has a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. This has been Money, Markets, and Motivation with Mike. Go out there and help somebody less fortunate than yourself. And it has been great having you on.